How's it going, guys? My name is Lodi, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some lens tapping, and just kind of some general visual triggers, because I just got this new camera for Christmas, so I figured it'd be a very fitting video. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Another reminder to leave any comments in this video, or preferably on the my YouTube page posts, where you can leave any questions for a Q&A video that I'm going to be doing once I reach 5K subs. So. But yeah, so I'm still trying to learn all the best settings and stuff on this camera. And right now I have kind of a weird setup because, of course I do, things are always changing. At home, it's impossible to get the right setup and everything. So right now, where I usually record in my basement, we just got a new mirror, so I don't want to record with the background as a mirror. And we got some lovely background noise going on. I don't know what it is. It's something with the furnace room, which is also, of course, in my basement, but this is an enclosed room, and it has like acoustic panels, so it has the best sound maintenance, I guess. I don't know the right term to use, but so yeah, of course things are a little different, but from your guys' perspective it shouldn't look that different because I just have the same color, kind of solid background. But yeah, so I hope you guys had a good Christmas and got the stuff that you wanted. Got the stuff that you wanted. Trace along here, trace. But yeah, I've had kind of a busy break, sort of. More just in the sense that I've been kind of traveling like back and forth. When I just got back last night, from, or yesterday, I guess, from a trip, and I was in two different spots, so I was in one spot first, for a couple days visiting, and then it's pretty weird to have the focus adjust. I was considering changing the focus mode, but I'm still figuring out a lot about this camera, and so I didn't want to spend too much time messing around with it, and just wanted to record in the, of course, small window of time that I have. Tap, 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 tap. So I was just gone for, we were gone for at one of the houses for 4 days, and then on our way back home, stopped at a friend's place for, okay, so the camera just stopped recording at 5 minutes. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but hopefully it doesn't stop again. imagine there's going to be a lot of problems I'm going to run into. Well, problems I'm going to run into with the camera before I get this thing fully figured out and start using it at its full potential. But so far, I'm very happy with the quality, at least. And right now, I'm, in like a, I don't have any control over the lighting in my environment right now because I'm just in my basement and there's not even a dimmer on this light switch. So going to trace the outside of the camera bounds. Here in the top left corner. Making my way over to the right. Dropping down. Back over to the left. And back up. I also, it looks like it creates a weird, like perspective warp when I get that close, which is obviously gonna happen. So my finger looks extra long, but it's not actually, that crazy long. But yeah, I also have the gain turned down quite a bit on this, so that you can't hear the background noise. I really don't know what it is. It's something in the furnace room, but I turned off the air or the heat, so it shouldn't be running at all. But it's probably something else running in there. I don't know. But if you cup around the mic like this, it creates a nice crisp whisper. And then I also have the mic mode to pick up sounds very close on this front side, but not as much on the back side. This is the back side, front side. You could probably do something, you could do like good sounds with just that mic mode enabled and messing around with, like sounds coming in and out. It's like 8D audio, 8D audio, 8D audio. But anyway, yeah, so I guess I was probably talking about how I was just bouncing around everywhere, but I got back yesterday and I had realized that since I had left earlier for celebrating Christmas with my family, basically right when I got back from break, that when I got back last night, I realized that I hadn't even had my larger bag unpacked from when I came back from Christmas break initially. So I'm like, I really feel like I haven't even settled in yet. But our winter break is really long, so usually by the end of it, I feel like I'm ready to go back to school. But yeah, the clarity on this camera and the resolution is obviously higher. But what I'm really excited for, and what I was saying is, being able able to get still good video quality in lower lighting because when I'm back at school, in my preferred recording setup, I can adjust the lighting, and so I'd like to be able to do lower lighting and also color lighting, which is also usually lower, just because when you do a white light, it's nice and bright. But if you switch to something like pink at the same level of brightness on the light bulbs I have that are RGB, then it just reads darker on the camera. So you lose a lot of quality, and especially in post-production when I go back and decrease the exposure, usually that just makes the quality look worse as well. So hopefully I'll be able to give you guys some better quality videos. And I also just got a green screen, but I don't even know if I have an iron. I know I have an iron here at home, so maybe I'll iron that out or something if I'm ironing out a shirt or something. But I hope to be able to use that in some videos coming up. When I'm at school, I'll probably just set it up regardless. Because even if I don't have some fancy background, I can just change it to a solid color. So that it's just consistent. Probably a darker color because, as I've said before, I think ASMR should be recorded in darker color schemes or settings, just lower light in general, because you're trying to fall asleep. That's the whole goal. Although I did have somebody comment on one of my videos that they were like, oh, I liked everything about the video except for the fact that I can't really see much. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I understand that, but it's supposed to be intentional because for the most part, when you're watching ASMR, you're trying to fall asleep, but not always true. Obviously, for anything that's sort of role play based, you probably want to be watching that and have clear, brighter video, but for video that is just good sounds and you're likely just listening, you probably want to have darker color schemes. This is actually nice. I got lumbar support right now, pushed up against this wall. I did a lot of driving yesterday. It was 3.5 hours back from the second stop we took, and then when we got back, I wanted to go to the gym, but I got there too late because I guess New Year's Day is still considered a holiday. I'm not quite sure why. But I guess it's good to give workers a break, but there's definitely nice cool gym workers that would have just worked regular hours. But yeah, so I drove to the gym yesterday at 5:30, and there's a little sign on there that says holiday hours, and they closed at 5. So I had to use the whole gym that I have here, which is actually the room I'm in. I currently have my feet on the lard rig in front of me, and then there's a bench and stuff too, but anyway, hopefully today after I eat this morning, I'll be able to head to the gym. It's interesting. I guess the sound itself is louder, the background noise, but even just have my hand here and I'm making noises, you can't really hear them. And I'm like a foot away from the mic. But yet somehow the sound, the background noise is reading louder, and it's not even in this room. I don't know, do you guys like sort of snappier hand sounds, you know? It's not something I typically do. I usually just do more like rubbing, because I kind of like those noises better. Or if my hands were completely dry right now, then, you know, like tackier hand sounds, where it kind of sounds more like a sticky. Tap, 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 tap. But yeah, the break overall has been really nice. You know, even though it feels like I've been moving around everywhere, I prefer to kind of be doing stuff anyway. If I was just at home this whole time, I'd definitely be bored by now, or at least just ready for a change of scenery. But yeah, I hope you guys all had nice holidays and did something fun for New Year's. And if you didn't, you know, if you weren't with family or whatever, then I hope you could at least enjoy your own company and do something that you enjoy. I know not everybody gets to, you know, get together with family or friends or whatever because of whatever circumstance. But I would hope that by that time you would enjoy your own company. See, I don't want to actually tap on the lens itself. Tap, tap, tap. Probably not good for the lens itself. Also, I have it standing on this tripod, which is probably, I don't know, 2 feet off the ground, so I need actual contact with the camera. Just gonna move the camera around. Move the camera around. But, so we've actually now been recording for 15 minutes. It's kind of nice to be able to see the timing and everything. There's all these other symbols that I don't quite know what is going on. There's a CH1, CH1, and a CH2. Not quite sure what those are if I had to guess. Probably channel 1 and channel 2, so maybe it's showing me audio levels on there. But I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that's probably what it is. I'm making some snappy noises right up near the camera itself. Channel 1, channel 2, maybe there's 2 mics, I imagine. Then there's A, F, C. I think that's something to do with autofocus and the mode that it's on. I'm pretty sure that's what AF is, because then there's also another symbol that says A, F, O, face is mid. No, I don't know. I imagine that maybe is something for the lighting. There's a little, a little star icon there. So I'm imagining that has something to do with the amount of lighting that I'm getting. I'm not sure though. And then I see a little tripod icon, so I imagine there's some sort of sensor or something that can indicate to the camera that it's being held within a tripod. And then I see some other icons down there, but I'm not quite sure what those are either. Then there is ISO Auto. ISO Auto. I'm not very good at spelling. ISO Auto. ISO Auto. But yeah, and I hope that the whole New Year's resolution thing is always kind of a little funny to me, because if you are truly trying to make good changes in yourself, that's something that you should be doing throughout the entire year. And I think it's just a kind of a, I can be helpful. I see the intention behind it, but in my personal opinion, the best way to set goals is to make sure you have a reasonable timeline and a clear goal. One of my buddies recently was like, "Hey, do you guys want to try and go sober for a week or something after New Year's?" I'm like, no, because first off, that's not something that I have set a goal for myself, so I wouldn't really have that intention to begin with. At some point, I'll probably give it a go. But at this point in my life, being a college kid, it's just unrealistic to be completely sober. And it sounds like I won't really want to do anyway. Now if it really started to become a problem where I feel like it was impacting my grades or whatever, my friendships, blah, 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 whatever. But it's not like that for me, so. But he was like, "Oh yeah, let's set it for a week." And I'm like, well, that's kind of silly because you're not really going to see any benefits of going sober for a week, nor will you have actually broke any sort of habit making after just a week of not doing it. I mean, you could not eat any food for a week and just drink water. That's possible. So I don't know, my point is that it wouldn't be that hard to stop for a week and it wouldn't really show any benefits. Sure, it'd be, a good test run, but if I really want to do, I'd probably start with trying to go sober for a month or something at least. But anyway, my point is that you should be doing as much self-reflecting as you can throughout the whole year and not just on the first of the year, It's nice because it's a deadline that you can mark off as okay, it's the start of the new year. But yeah, I often think it just, with the way it's set up, that's my empty dummy going crazy. With the way that it's set up, people are just meant to fail. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of goal setting too is obviously willpower and discipline, but also there's just a lot of strategy and organization to it as well. I'm trying to think of a good example. A lot of it too, especially with just substances in general. If it's just nicotine, hey, I want to give up nicotine. And if you're surrounded by people that are vaping all the time, then it's gonna be a lot harder for you. So the position that you put yourself in and the way that you strategize that is gonna heavily impact how successful you are. So yeah, just think about that when you're setting your goals. I mean, obviously you want to be with like-minded people, so that's like a very easy thing, honestly, just for a lot of goals. I mean, even if it's fitness related. For me, obviously, I've talked about my fitness, so it's never really been a tough thing for me to try and get myself to go at this point. It's like I want to go, and there's not really an option. I mean, there's some times where maybe I'm tired, but I've rarely skipped the gym from just being tired. I can probably count on my hands the amount of times I've done that. But there's been times where I'd just rather do something else. Like, if I'm really in a video game phase and I'm playing something like Ark, I'll be like, oh man, I would rather play Ark right now. But what I was saying is, if you have a bunch of friends, if you're trying to get going into the gym, if you have a bunch of friends that already go to the gym and you're the only one that's not going to the gym, it's going to be a lot easier for you to achieve that goal. You can go with your friends whenever you want, ask them what they're hitting, ask them for advice, ask them for, what exercises you want to hit, etc. But say on the flip side, you wanted to start going to the gym and none of your friends do it, and, you're trying to go, after work or something, you're like, yeah, I'm going to hit the gym, and they're like, oh no, well, I was actually going to go to the bar and get a drink after work. Well, now you see here how easy it would be to just go to the bar. That's the lifestyle you've been living, and your friends don't live it, so it's going to be a lot harder to change that. But anyway, I'm not saying anything crazy here. I was just trying to give an example of like the timeline and the expectations you set for goals need to be realistic so they can actually be achieved. And if that means that you need to manage your expectations and start smaller, with something like, hey, I want to go to the gym once a week, and then if you can do that and you prove to yourself that you can do that consistently, then maybe you bump it up